together tonight. Right?
Go! Go!
Warm-up part is this maybe perhaps was the plan. Here's a drive from JB, and he's got a running hook shot to go. UNCP is on the board. It's 9-2. Between the legs dribble to the free throw line. Kick out left wing Jamal Bryant for three, and he's got it. Tyrell Kirk drives to the free throw line. Pruitt, white wing for three. Got it!
Kicks it back up top, three ball, Kirk, it's good. Mismatch, but he's pickpocketed there by David Struther on the fast break, easy layup off the glass. To Struther with it in the corner, gives it up to Murray Boyles, jacks up a three, gets it to go.
But the Braves, we saw them, especially individual players, developed over the course of these 40 minutes, and we're going to see the team develop over the course of the non-conference slate.
Buckeyes got a great team. I was really impressed. It was a great experience for our guys to be guarded like that and have to try to block out those monsters inside. So, I don't know, they picked 7th or 8th in the Big Ten. That's nuts. If that's the 8th best team in the Big Ten, they're going to shock a lot of people, and I was really impressed with their team. They're going to win a lot of games this year.
We consistently have tried to schedule the absolute best teams we can. Tonight was an example of that. Very, very powerful, strong team. We didn't play as well as we can, but we're kind of starting over. We were at the top of the league last year and won the tournament. We got 3 new guys going to play pretty vital roles for us this year. It's going to take us a while, but by the time we get to January, I think Coach's team will be much better than what you saw tonight, much tougher physically than what you saw tonight. It was just a great lesson for us because we kind of toyed with 2 Division II teams. We scrimmaged 2 and won both of those by 30 and got away with a lot of shaky play. So tonight was a great experience for our players, great experience.
Please join the Ohio State Department of Athletics and its men's basketball program in welcoming back Coach Eldon Miller.
Volunteer assistant coach and father of head coach Ben Miller, Pops Eldon Miller coached at Ohio State from 1977 to 1986. He was given a standing ovation at Value City Arena before the game. Also, Miller and his players from the era were honored on the court at halftime. Miller racked up 176 wins and made the NCAA tournament 4 times in his time with the Buckeyes.
Guys came back from a long way away. The 10 years that I was here at Ohio State, I got to work with a lot of wonderful young people, very strong guys. You saw a lot of them out there tonight. A lot of them came a long way to get here. I really appreciate that. It meant a lot to me, to my family. My family got to meet him a lot before we had a little reception before the game. I'm going to run upstairs and see how many of them are up there now. And I got to see Mike Bordner and Bryce Westfall, my trainer, my equipment guy. It's just, you have a lot of magic moments in your life, and today's one for
The UNCP Braves football team lost a hard-fought battle to Mars Hill 34-21 last Saturday at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. The Braves trailed by only a touchdown heading into the second half, but Mars Hill pulled away with 2 second-half scores. With the loss, the Braves fall to 2-6 on the year, but with the growing pains come some valuable lessons learned for a young squad.
I think there were some good things that came out of Saturday, and there were also a lot of things that we just could have done better. And in order to win a game and to be able to execute the way you want to, execute and feel after the game, you got to be able to do it for 4 quarters. And I just told him I don't think that there's enough guys that really are taking everything and really maximizing it from an effort, from a focus, and just from an executional standpoint. And I think more guys need to be able to do that with some enthusiasm. They need to do it with a little bit more commitment level. And I know that it's difficult, sitting here with just 2 wins on our record, and you're kind of getting down towards the end, and some guys might think that there's not a whole lot to play for. And so you gotta really just kind of gut check yourself as a player and be able to know that hey, there's still a lot of opportunities left, and there's an opportunity to grow and learn and become better. And still, there's still 2 games on the schedule here that we've got a chance to go out there and play well and win. And so I think guys need to really be able to, kind of rise to that occasion a little bit better here.
In the defeat, the Braves did force 2 turnovers and held Craig Rucker, the nation's 3rd leading receiver, under 100 receiving yards for the game. With the positives, there are still some barriers for this team to push through to reach that next level.
I think both offense and defensively, we did some really good things, and I think offensively, absolutely. I think some guys that maybe hadn't had a chance earlier in the season to show what they could do did. I thought Shamon Hicks, had a great run, a catch and run there. McKinley Nelson, I thought, played very well for just taking a lot of the load. Quad Williams had a couple of really good runs. And then, I thought defensively, there were some good moments where we were making some plays and really stopping the run and doing some things. There was a couple series we had some 3 and outs, where it felt like, oh man, we're finding a groove here. And then all of a sudden there'd be some big plays and some plays where we couldn't really make really aggressive finishes on the ball in the air. And, that just is disappointing, to know that you can't really play with the consistency that you want to on both sides of the ball.
One of the big bright spots on the day was freshman running back McKinley Nelson. Nelson ran for 84 yards, including a 58-yard scamper. Nelson has taken on the majority of the workload ever since Josh Sheridan went down with an injury.
He's a true freshman, so there's a lot of physical development that he can do, and he can definitely get himself into a better shape in terms of working on quickness and agility and some of his flexibility, really trimming up. And obviously, as you go throughout a college lifting program and strength and conditioning program, you should be able to get stronger and, all of the physical development that needs to take place over the course of his career. I expect that to happen. And then also, I think, just by him getting all those reps here this year, he's able to really add that to his confidence and being able to just step out there and really be sure of what he's doing and be able to move forward in a way where, there's no hesitation. There's no kind of, thinking here or there and kind of, in those split seconds, you got to be able to, really react and respond well and be confident to do that. And I think that's something that he will be able to do better here as he moves forward in his future.
The Braves will be taking on Carson Newman later today. The Eagles are 6-4 overall and 4-3 in the South Atlantic Conference. Carson Newman represents a unique challenge as they run the triple option, something the Braves have not seen very much of this season.
Yeah, sure. I think they have a very unique offense, and that's something that they've had for a long time. And they run option, style offense, and if you're not used to playing against that and fitting that up, then it takes a little bit of an adjustment. And so for us defensively, we've got to really be sound and really work some of those techniques and be able to really do our job and be very, very disciplined when you play against something like this. And so they've got great tradition. They've been well coached for a long time, and they'll be a good team coming in here. And we'll need to be able to play very, very well and be very, very hungry to be able to do our best here.
UNCP has been hampered this season by the loss of 2 games due to Hurricane Florence, but the Braves will now be getting one of those games back. The Braves have scheduled an exhibition matchup next Saturday on the road against Catawba. Adding the extra game just means more reps and more game experience for a youthful team.
I think it's always exciting to be able to play more football, and when you have opportunities taken away from you, it doesn't feel good, and I think it's great to be able to keep extending the season. And for some of the older guys, they want to be able to play as much as they can. It doesn't last forever for those guys, and it'll be gone before they know it here in 2 weeks, really. And so it's good to get them another game. Also for the younger guys, there's so much value and so much experience that can continually be learned and taught and being able to grow and develop from, just by playing another game. And it's hard to assimilate all the learning lessons that need to go on out there on the field by just going through spring ball or even going through just practice. Or, you know, you got to get out there and be able to go against an opponent and see some of those things and really execute those things and make those mistakes to be able to learn and grow from them.
UNCP men's cross country captured the 2018 Peach Belt Championship, the squad's second in 4 years.
Really, I'm at a loss for words with what this group has done since May, over the summer, the 2 hurricanes, everything. Just it's a testament to what they do daily.
The Braves were led by a first-place finish from freshman Josh Chepkesser, who edged his teammate sophomore Silas Kipkowicz, the PBC Runner of the Year and last season's individual champ. Logan Ward took home 6th place, and in the 4th and 5th scoring positions for the Braves, UNCP had Matthew Martin at 11th and Ian Ormsby taking home 16th. The Braves totaled 36 points as a team, edging Augusta's 40. Flagler would come in 3rd.
Just really confident with what he can do. The goal going in was really just to kind of keep the group of 4 of them or 5 of them together as long as we could. We knew if it came down to sit and kick, we probably wouldn't be able to compete with them because our guys are more 10K guys. So we really took control of the race with what we needed to do, with what we felt would win, and it worked out the right way. And I can't say enough for Ian. Really stepped up as the 5th man when Jonathan had to drop out due to just whatever happened to him today. But really it was a total team effort, and when you score 36 points, it's going to happen.
I was excited about it actually because we were prepared. Since actually we were prepared and we know this was our year actually. So our coach put a lot of effort to us. He used to train us very well. And even us actually we had a good teamwork. That's why we were expecting to win this race.
Ormsby credits the team's relentless work ethic going back to the summer for this year's championship.
Honestly, we didn't back down. When I say that, we were doing 85 miles a week, no taper, no nothing. So these guys ran full on for the past month, and we'll start tapering down a little bit for regionals and hopefully nationals. But like I said, this is probably the best group I've coached, hands down, from a preparation standpoint.
The young UNCP women's team finished 6th, led by freshman Skylar Moreno, who picked up all conference honors with a 9th place finish, the personal best time of 19:01. The other 4 in Pembroke's top 5 are just sophomores.
Ladies had a great day as well. Obviously, I think we're about a year to 2 years away from really making a statement, but to have a freshman like Skylar run 9th, she passed me with about 400 to go, and she was 14th, 15th, so just out of all conference. And so to have a freshman finish 9th in the conference, we'd have to go back 2 to 3, maybe 4 years to have a all-conference finish that high for the ladies. Riley Axe had a great day. Molly kind of showed up a little bit better today, and we're just building the women's team. Obviously, when you have finishes from Skylar and Molly and Riley on a day like today, it builds for the future, and we just got to get them to the same level as the guys.
The NCAA Regional Championships take place next Saturday at 9 a.m. in Gainesville, Georgia.
The UNCP Braves women's basketball team gets their season officially going on Friday when they take on Southern Wesleyan. That game is followed by a matchup against Barton on Saturday. The Braves are coming off a 10-17 campaign, 8-14 in the PBC, and head coach John Haskins is excited to see what this year's squad will bring to the court.
To start the year, this is a great bunch of girls, and like you say, we've got a lot of talent, particularly a lot of experience and talent on the perimeter. We brought a lot of kids back. T. Graham is our starting point guard. Alicia Hardy, who led us in minutes, played. You got Avery Locklear, who's been an on and off starter and starter most of the time ever since her freshman year. So those 3 kids coming back on the perimeter with a lot of experience. Adding a couple players, getting Brianna Baham back will be nice. She redshirted last year and was our leading returning scorer, would have been last year. So that's good, and we've got some new additions, so we're excited about getting the season cranked up and underway.
The Braves have lost some key players like leading scorer Nyla Allen, but Haskins believes he has players on the roster who can help make up for the loss.
Well, obviously going in with losing some post players, question mark inside, but I think adding Deja McCain, transfer from North Carolina Central, has been a very good addition for us. And I think the improvement of Sadeja Love. So those two at the 5 spot, I think, give us a good athletic inside presence, which is going to shore up one weakness. I think making shots on a consistent basis. I think we need to be a better 3-point shooting team. I think that's important. We were the lowest turnover team in the league last year. We need to make sure we're taking care of the ball again. I think improvement defensively is another area where we need to get better. We had a lot of new kids, new faces last year to start the season, and we weren't very good defensively. I thought we got better as the year progressed. But we were an average defensive team, and I think we need to be a very good defensive team, and I think we can with this group, with the athletic ability they have. So those are some things I think that we need to shore up on. Strength, I just think our perimeter, experience on a perimeter is a strength. I think depth is going to be a strength for us. And I'm hoping team chemistry will. I think these girls really get along, and I think we've got some good leaders out on the floor, so I think those will be strengths also.
As for his team style of play, Haskins knows at the very least they will compete and grind it out on the defensive end of the floor while trying to up the tempo on the offensive side.
We've always been a pretty good defensive team, and I actually showed the girls about midseason where we stood, percentage-wise, field goal percentage, defense, points per game, that type of thing, and where our average has been ever since we've been in the Peach Belt, and we weren't as good as the teams previous. And so I think the first thing is we're going to be a good defensive team. We're going to get stops defensively. We're not going to give you a lot of easy shots. We're going to really work hard on the defensive end to try to make you shoot contested perimeter shots. That's the whole basis on our defense. Or if you throw it at a post, you're going to have to shoot over us and score and only get one shot. And then offensively, pushing the ball in transition, I think we'll be a better team running this year. And then really spacing the floor, moving the ball offensively, and attacking the basket, whether it's off the dribble or going inside out. So that is what I feel like our identity needs to be, and that's what we're trying to get the buy-in on every day in practice.
With losing players like Allen and Ebony Stevens, Haskins will have to generate a new starting 5, but he thinks he has a lot of options.
No, it's really up in the air. I actually think right now we've almost got 8 to 10 kids they're all bring different things to the table, and they can all make positive contributions. Some are more experienced than others, but some have strengths. You take a Melanie Horn, she's gotten a lot better defensively. Obviously, she wasn't very good defensively last year as a freshman. Coming from a high school team, I think that played zone all the time. Gotten a lot better defensively, but she's an offensive weapon, So she gives us that kind of instant offense where she'll make some shots and she'll get hot. So I think we've got different things. Shania Lester, who is a new player, is may come off the bench. I may start some, but can really attack off the dribble, plays hard defensively. So I think we've got a lot of different kids that can give us different things.
And as always, Haskins and his players have just one goal for this season.
But our ultimate goal is to make the NCAA tournament. And I feel like if we could finish top 3 in the Peach Belt, that's going to get an NCAA bid. So that's our ultimate goal. We've got some other goals besides that, but we're still working on those.
UNCP volleyball wrapped up their season 1 week ago as they lost in 4 sets on the road to Flagler. The setback put UNCP at 10-21 in the season, the first time since 2014 the squad has reached double-digit victories. The Braves' season was highlighted by a 7-game non-conference winning streak to close out the season. Individually, Tyler Fitzpatrick and junior Savannah Bean and Anna Hines were all lauded with Peach Belt Conference Volleyball All-Academic Team honors on Wednesday. Akia Jones led the Braves in both kills per set, 3.02, and kill percentage as she hit 189, and her 287 kills ranked 6th in the Peach Belt Conference. Bailey Jones finished the season just shy of 1,000 assists with 985, which ranked 2nd overall in the Peach Belt, while Anna Hines racked up 522 digs to lead the team and placed 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference. Brianna Warren totaled 57 blocks, and her .90 blocks per set were good for 6th in the PBC. Head coach Ellen McGill's squad will have a very positive outlook for next year, as the team will be graduating just 3 players.
UNCP's soccer season came to an end this week after the NCAA selection committee did not slot the Braves into the NCAA tournament as an at-large bid in the Southeast region.
I respectfully disagree with the NCAA selection committee, just like I did in 2016, and I think it's fair to say that I was initially shocked, then angered and frustrated and disappointed. Kind of all of those emotions are rolled into one, but it's not constructive to stay in that place. I think I gave myself, and I think our players gave themselves 48 hours to have those emotions and to be in that place. But we're now moving forward, and although I do feel like we were one of the 7 best teams in the Southeast region, without a doubt, all we can do at this point is wish the 7 teams that made it the best of luck in the NCAA tournament, and particularly the 3 PBC teams who made it. As far as UNC Pembroke soccer is concerned, we're moving forward.
Anderson and the Braves are trying to use this season, along with unexpectedly not being selected, as they weren't in 2016, as a positive.
We did make sure that we reached out to some coaches. I've spoken to Mr. Christie, and we're trying to make sure that we understand the selection process a little bit better and understand the importance of doing the right kind of scheduling, so on and so forth. So I think we're better prepared. Obviously, we have to produce on the field in 2019, but you know, something good will come out of this. When we didn't make it in 16, and we're shocked to learn that we didn't make it in 16, we made a promise that we would make it the next year, and we won the Peace Belt Conference tournament, and obviously we're selected as an AQ. So I think I'm meeting with the team today. I'm going to tell them that we should use this as a motivating factor for 2019. And I'm so proud of the way these kids rebounded from not having trained for 2 weeks, and some of our players, their families suffered damage to homes, businesses, property of theirs, and they were able to put that aside, come back, focus on their academics, focus on soccer, and I can't be more proud of them. And the 6 seniors that were graduating, they're amazing soccer players, they're amazing athletes, they're great students, but most importantly, they're amazing people, and I'm certainly going to miss them.